Hello, this is Lama from LK TOEFL. In today's video, we are going to talk about the general ideas about the TOEFL IBT test for the students who did not take the TOEFL before and who don't know anything about this test. Before we start, let us just stop at the saying which says, "There is no glory in practice, but there is no glory without practice." Practice is the key to get your desired score in the TOEFL. And no matter how many tutors you hire or how much money you spend on tutors, if you're not going to practice by yourself, then you are not going to reach your aim. The word TOEFL is an abbreviation for Test of English as a Foreign Language. This test is standardized and it is accepted by most of the universities around the world. The purpose of this exam is to test the English level of non-native English-speaking students who want to enroll in English-speaking universities. The total points of this exam is 120 points, 30 for each section, which means that you are going to have 4 sections in this exam. The scale of scoring will be as the following. If you score between 90 and 100, your English level is good. If you score between 100 and 110, your English level is very good. If you score between 110 and 120, your English level is excellent. The cost of this test is around $200, depending on the region you are taking the test in. For example, if you take this exam in Canada, you are going to pay around $220. But if you take it in the Middle East, it's going to cost you around $196. This test is made by the ATS, which is the Educational Testing Service. The last one important thing you need to know about this test is that this test has been changing throughout the last 10 years, but the major change happened in 2019 on the 1st of August. The changes were made on the reading and the speaking section, and we will discuss these changes in the following videos. Now, let's move to know what skills they are testing in the TOEFL. The first one is the reading, the second one is the listening, the third one is the speaking, and the last one is the writing. Let's start talking about the reading section, which is the first section of the TOEFL IBT test. The purpose of this section is to test your ability to read and answer questions at an academic level. What is the meaning of the phrase academic level? It means that the contents of the passages are similar to the ones you are going to study in the university you are applying to. This part consists of 3 to 4 passages. Each passage contains 10 questions, so the total of questions for this section will be between 30 and 40 questions. Some people might ask, why sometimes we have 3 passages and other times we have 4? The answer is because the ADS tests out new questions techniques each test, so these additional questions will be as an experiment. The grading news is that those questions are not graded, but also you can't tell which questions are the trials, so you have to answer all of the questions in this section in a serious manner. We need to mention one thing here. If you got 3 reading passages, then 100% you will have extra listening questions. And the purpose of those questions is to test not graded new questions types in the listening section. So, the summary of this talk is that you will have additional not graded questions either in the reading section or in the listening section. But you are not going to face this neither in the speaking nor in the writing. The length of the passages usually between 600 words and 700 words. The allotted time will be between 54 minutes if you have 3 passages and 72 minutes if you have 4 passages. After you finish the reading section, you will move automatically to the listening section. So, the listening section is the second part of the test. In this section, the ADS examines your understanding of spoken English. You will listen to different conversations and lectures, and then you have to answer questions about what you heard. Standard time for this section is between 41 and 42 minutes. Don't forget, as we said before, you might have additional listening questions, in the case if you got only 3 reading passages. But if you are in such a circumstance, you will have more than the previously mentioned time. What I mean is that you will have more than 42 minutes. At the end of the listening section, you will have a 10-minute break. We will discuss in another video what are the things you are allowed to take with you to the test and what should you do the day before the test. After you finish the break, you will start the speaking section. So, the speaking section is the third in its order. It consists of 4 questions or tasks, 1 independent and 3 integrated. The time for this section is 70 minutes. For this section, you will speak into a microphone which records your answer on the computer, and then they are sent to the EDS graders. Each question could be given a score of 0 to 4, and then they convert the total of points for the 4 questions into the scale of 30. As we said, you will have 2 types of questions in this part, integrated and independent, and we will discuss them further in the following videos. You finish the speaking section and then you are left only with the writing section, which I consider one of the easiest sections. The writing section is the last one and the allowed time for it is 50 minutes. You will also have 2 types of questions. The first one is the integrated and the second one is the independent. For the integrated, you will listen to a lecture and read a passage, and then you have 20 minutes to summarize what you have read and heard. And for the independent, you have to express your opinion about a certain topic, and you have to do this within 30 minutes. After you finish the writing, you are done with the test. Yay! And how relieving is this, especially if you did well. And if you want to do well, you can see my other videos and contact me if you want to take a few lessons. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to like and share my videos, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks. See you in my other videos.